Hey everyone, it's John or KOS Reaper from Britishman Games, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a different sort of video than what we normally do here on Britishman Games. Today I'm going to be talking about the Trials of Osiris, and specifically some tips and tricks I have used that have really helped me. I know you're probably also talking over me right now and asking me, well, where's the Trials video? This is Crucible. This is not what I was looking for. This is an outrage. And don't worry, it's going to be on screen when I start talking about the tips. And that's my imitation voice. I'm sure you guys don't talk like that. I'm sorry if you do. This is kind of awkward. Anyways, this is just some extra Trials footage I wanted to use while I did the intro instead of having you guys look at a picture or something else. So the main focus of this video is going to be the tips and tricks I have used in Trials, and these tips have actually really helped my Trials gameplay. Now, I'm also going to say that I'm not Hush or Encooch or True Vanguard when it comes to Trials, but these tips have certainly helped me, and I'm hoping they will help anyone that is either new to Trials or is looking for ways to improve their Trials gameplay. So now, let's get into the first tip. So the first major tip I can give you guys is communication is key. It is a huge part of Trials of Osiris. No matter who you're playing with, whether it's randoms, your friends, or your Trials team that you go hard with every weekend, you gotta be communicating to them. There's just really no other option. So before each game we would play, we would always look at our opponent's loadouts and light levels and talk about what to watch for. We would always really try to build an in-game strategy before each game even started. And throughout the game, we would be communicating enemy positions and our locations, where we are moving to, and it was just really effective. That's a must-do, and this video really shows a great example of that right here. So our opponents had shotgun warrior loadouts, which didn't surprise us in Trials because shotgun's OP. Bleh. So we really came up with a plan that we knew would put them at a disadvantage. Our plan was actually pretty simple. The plan started with Patrick or Corporal Jet would go high and to the right, while me and Adam, the guy we picked up, would go low and to the left around A spawn. Now, Patrick, what he would do was try to draw the opponents into the party room and start tagging. More likely than not, they would start pushing Patrick and then go into the party room. While that was happening, me and Adam would throw our lightning grenades from the left in the lower part of the map, and then we would start making them absolute and pushing from the left. This way, either Patrick could get the kill or whoever, it didn't matter, while me and Adam would push in from the left side, making it really hard for them to do anything about us, and we would finish them off pretty quickly. Now, the end of this video really shows a great example and another good talking point of communication. Never be afraid to push aggressively in a 3v1, just communicate to your teammates where you are and where the enemy position is. That aggressive move will allow you to get the kill, or at least you can start trading or tagging him, whatever, it doesn't matter, and your teammates can finish up the kill if you get killed in the process by the one player. Since it was close quarters and I knew my guy had a shotgun warrior loadout, I knew my teammates were right behind me, I knew that I would either tag him and they would finish it off, or I would trade with him or get the kill, and in this instance, I traded with him and it was over and done. The next major tip I'm going to give for you guys is radar awareness, and I cannot stress this one. This one is extremely important, especially when it comes to the Trials of Osiris. I run into so many people that don't know how to effectively use their radar, and it really hurts them in the long run. My suggestion would be to use the new radar artifact you can pick up at the Iron Temple, or you can use any weapon with third eye, what have you. And I also know that hunters have an exotic helmet that gives you a third eye for all your primaries as well. I don't know the name of it, but whatever it is, use any radar boost you can as much as possible. So in this video, this is a really good example of just lack of radar awareness. I see this one guy and I begin flanking him because I know there's the other two members of his enemy team are not that far behind, and what I do is I say just out of radar range, and it makes it really hard for them to track me, but I'm still able to see them. And this entire time I can see the guy aiming down sight, so then what I do when I get behind them is I throw my flashbang grenade to stun them and take their radar away from them, and it makes it harder and it also disorients them. I have no idea why this guy was aiming down sight the whole time. He really wasn't doing anything, he was just sitting there, but he never saw me coming, and it was a 2v1, so at least one of them should have been able to trade with me, or one should have started tagging me and the other one should have started finishing me off, but because they didn't use their radars effectively, they didn't last. They made it an easy kill, and while Patrick was moving in, I got one kill, and I got the assist on the other because he was pushing in from the other side, and it was a pretty easy takedown. The next tip I'm going to give you guys is try to find people that fit your play style and play the way you like to play. I mean, some people are more relaxed when it comes to trials, and some people are extremely competitive, and that's okay. It's competitive gameplay. You gotta expect that. Also, people at the same time do enjoy lone wolfing it and having everyone do their own thing, while others like sticking together as much as possible. Me and Patrick prefer someone who wants to stick together as much as possible. That way we can use 3v1s as much as possible and dominate them and really give them no chance. So here you can see a really good example of us sticking close together. All three of us are really close in proximity and focusing fire on this one target. We are communicating where our opponent's positions are, where ours are, and he really has no chance in the 3v1. This is how we really play most of our Trials games, and occasionally we do break off, but this is really how we stick together. And I'm not saying everyone has to play it this way, it's just the way me and Patrick like to play. Each person's different, and it's really important to find people that play the way you do, otherwise it's going to be difficult to work together in Trials because you guys kind of see things differently, and it really just won't work out. So to have the most success possible, really try to find people that play like you. So the next tip is something I feel like not enough people do, and that's never be afraid to get creative. What I mean by this is try to approach each engagement in each round a different way. Don't do the same things over and over again, otherwise you're going to be really predictable, and if you're predictable, it's going to make it easier for your opponents to beat you. Try something new that your opponents might not expect, even if you can only use it one time. Heck, use strategies even enemy teams have used against you in previous games. This video right here is a really good example, and you're also probably wondering, Patrick, the round just started, why are you dead? The truth of the matter is actually he did it on purpose. This is something that was done to us in a previous game, and we fell right into the enemy team's trap. What happened is that Patrick killed himself on purpose so that the enemy team would push us. Since we had the good spawn, we wanted them to push in while we used all the choke points near A, and I revived Patrick right before they would get there, so it's 3v3 still. I'm gonna admit, the strategy was pretty creative. I can't take credit for it, we learned it from someone else, and it really did work for us every time we played another team. Now, I will admit this strategy was specifically for this map, but the point is that if you can look at your plan of attack or your map and you can see different ways to use the map to your advantage, you will dominate anyone you play. It just shows that being creative really can help you increase your win percentage. Now, my last and final tip I want to stress, and it is extremely important, it is whatever you do, don't get mad. Now, I know that's easier said than done because, let's be real, it's Trials. But really, blowing up on your teammates is not going to help anyone at all, or getting angry is just really going to make you play more aggressive than necessary, and just going to put your team at a disadvantage. But I will say that suggestions and constructive criticism for your team is different than getting mad. That's completely fine. But really, getting mad at each other when you're all trying to accomplish the same thing is never going to help anyone. If you play angry, you're just going to hurt your team. You have to remember that you're playing a game, which I know is hard when you're in it at the heat of the moment. And I mean, I'm guilty of that. I'm very much like that, and I'm very competitive, I'm not gonna lie. Plus, you also gotta realize that there's just some people that are really good and they're just gonna beat you, and all you really can do is try to get better and just keep playing Trials and keep going through the grind. I mean, that has happened to me so many times when I started playing Trials. Also, going back to the people that have the similar playstyles as you, if you have different playstyles, you're more likely to get mad at one another because you see things differently and you're going to want to do things different ways, and that's just going to create more conflict, and that's not going to help the team at all. The point of the matter is that getting mad at each other is never going to solve anyone's problems. Suggestive comments or criticisms or just suggestions in general are different, and that's really something that may help, but insulting teammates will just hinder the chemistry and make you really unsuccessful. Okay guys, that's going to do it for me today. If you like what you saw and you want more Trials videos, whether they be tips and tricks or just highlights of weekend by weekend play of me, Patrick, and whoever else we pick up, just let me know in the description or get a lot of views or likes on this video, and this could be a continuing series. Also, if you're new to the channel, hi! Go hit that subscribe button and go check out some of our other videos. And certainly don't be afraid to hit that like button or comment below. We love reading your comments, and we will certainly respond if you comment to any of our videos. So, until the next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.